Are you thinking about getting solar panels on your house? Here are a couple things that you should consider before making that decision. The first thing that you should consider is, how is this actually going to benefit the value of your home? Yes, it's possible that you could be saving some money on electric bills and things of that nature. I'm not going to discredit that. I'm not going to act like I'm the most informed on that. But is adding solar panels to your home going to add value to your home? And so that should be some homework and a conversation that you have just at the very beginning of this discussion. The next line of thinking needs to go to, how are you going to be buying it, or how are you going to be leasing it? Because that will in turn impact your ability to potentially sell the home at some point down the road. If you're going to buy the solar panels and pay for them outright, it's much easier to go through that process when you also turn around to sell your home, as opposed to having a lease on the solar panels, where the new buyer either has to assume that lease, which could impact their qualifications for a mortgage, or you have to pay that lease off, whatever balance is left on it, when you sell your home. So make sure that you're paying attention to the language that's a part of your contracts, whether you're buying the panels, whether you're leasing the panels, to see which way you're going to be able to get out of that, or be able to convey that purchase or lease to the next buyer. If you are a home buyer and you're shopping and you're finding a house that has panels on it, we need to be doing some investigation into the actual contract for the solar panels, because you might be able to assume the lease. You might not be able to assume the lease. If you cannot assume the lease and the seller can't afford to pay the lease off, then we're kind of in a stuck situation where that house is probably going to stay on the market until they can figure something else out. If you are able to assume the lease, then we need to look at, is it going to have a negative impact on your mortgage application process? So your credit will get pulled as a part of your mortgage application, but then if there's a new credit application or new credit inquiry during the mortgage process, and you get closer to closing and now there's a new inquiry on your credit profile, that could have a negative effect on your actual interest rate. And depending on where you are with your approval, it might actually disqualify you from getting your mortgage at all. I am not opposed to solar energy. I think that if you have the right house and you get the right kind of sunlight, and you purchase or lease in a scenario that's going to be a good fit for everybody down the road, I'm not against it whatsoever. But I do think there needs to be a very big discussion about what's the best way for you and your future, whether you're the homeowner currently or if you're buying a house. Is this going to be a good fit for you and your future moving forward? It's not just something that you should just move on just because it might be an alternative energy source. It's something you have to consider what the long-term ramifications are going to look like. I hope it's helpful. I'll see you guys soon.